Hey there, my name is Memo, this is my channel Houseplanty Goodness, and essentially it's a place where I like to geek out about my big passion, which you might be able to see behind me is a slight obsession with houseplants. So if you're getting into your houseplants as well and you want to know a bit more, do consider subscribing down below, it does really help. I usually will put out content like this about 2 to 3 times a week, and if you like this video, do consider dropping a like down below as well, because it tells me that you like content like this and I should be creating more of it. Now, going into today's topic, you might be able to see the plant in front of me, and I'll bring it in a bit closer. You might not be able to see how it looks fully clearly, but, and please ignore the watermarks on the leaves, I need to clean my leaves. But essentially, this is something that started off as a juvenile form because I got it as a plug plant from, or essentially a pup. This is the Philodendron Dark Lord. You might be able to see the dark green foliage there, and if I turn the leaf around, hopefully you might be able to see that if I bring it in a bit more. I don't want to bend it too much, but this is a very, very cool philodendron. And this is a philodendron that I was looking for quite a few years, because I could see that there was a few people that had this in the States, but not very many of them were around in the UK. Kaylee then kind of discovered this plant as well. She started bringing it into her rare plant shop, which is amazing, by the way. Highly recommend if you've never bought anything from the rare plant shop, and you can get your hands on things on there because they do sell quite quickly. Do definitely check that out. Her packaging and her plants are second to none. But this plant I didn't actually get from there because I got it just before she bought her first batch of, just before probably actually she released. She probably had her plants in before then because she was rehabbing them, but before she released them I found this on eBay, and as I mentioned, it was a pup from somebody's mature Dark Lord. So when I got it in, the leaves were kind of juvenile, and you might be able to see them at the bottom there, kind of lance shape, nothing particularly spectacular. There was a slight tinge of burgundy on the back, but nothing major. And for a very long time, this has been growing for nearly a year now from that kind of plug plant situation. It wasn't really showing many aspects of Dark Lord, and I'm just sitting there going, did I get duped? Did I just get a standard green form of some type of philodendron? But now I can quite surely say that this is Dark Lord based on some of this more mature foliage that's coming in. People like Kaylee and some of the ones that you might be able to find now, again, it's not that common to find it even on eBay. They will have more mature leaves, even though they are kind of rooted cuttings, so you can instantly see that it's a Dark Lord. But this is definitely one for people who like the darker foliages. And the really cool thing about this, and it hasn't really started showing off in this way just yet, it's getting there, I can see it, is that when the mature leaves come in, they come in this really, really intense red. Now, I've seen different pictures online on both Instagram and Google. Either some people have got them as bright red when they come in, or a deeper red when they come in. Wonders of editing, I won't know until I see it in person, because I don't know how many people are doctoring their images to make it look brighter or darker. So I will know a bit more when I get it happening on my actual plant. But the backs are definitely a darker red. The stems, the more it matured, became more and more burgundy. Just overall very cool plant. This was on my wish list for a very long time. So when I got it, and now that I'm starting to see the mature leaves, I'm just over the moon. This is great. It's one of those moments that I'm just like, yay, this is awesome. So in terms of care for this one, because I don't think there's an awful lot of videos about care for the Dark Lord, I do have this like pretty much most of my other philodendron, and it's doing well. I've got it in terracotta, in my light, airy, aroid soil mix. If you need a video on my soil mix, it's on my channel as well. I'll also drop a link down below of a link tree where I've got all the different ingredients that I use for that. I did have this when it was smaller and that kind of more immature form under grow lights, but the moment that I moved it closer to a window with bright indirect light is when it really truly took off. Humidity stayed the same from the previous property and this property, so I don't think the humidity bumping up slightly created this. I think it was probably more bright indirect light. And in terms of pest pressure, I've not really had too many pests on this. Says me giggling nervously. There's been a couple of instances recently where I've seen larvae, very, very small amounts of larvae from thrips. So this has got nuked. You might be able to see my other video on my channel about how I deal with pests, but this has been nuked with Provanto, which is a systemic houseplant pesticide, essentially. And it's going in for a second dose in a couple of weeks' time. But so far it's doing quite well. Touch wood. Very, very cool plant. And as I mentioned, I don't think there's an awful lot of videos anywhere really on care for this one. So if you want a more dedicated care video rather than me kind of showing you the plant and talking a bit more about my experience, please do let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you've got any questions or comments, drop them in the comments down below. Let's have that conversation. We're building a nice little community here where people are interacting in the comments, and I couldn't be happier. It's great. I wanted to create a bit more of a safe space that people can interact and really talk about their plants, about care, and essentially geek out, because that's what I do daily with my plants. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed. Hopefully I shall see you here soon, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. Thanks. Bye.